After working with a lot of men, I've been able to hear the raw truth about why it is that a man doesn't actually commit to a relationship. I'm going to share in this video 3 small behaviors that you might be doing that has a man not want to show up, has a man not want to commit. If you don't know who I am, my name is Matt, and I run this channel with my wife Kelly, and we help the God-led create their dream love lives using biblical principles and guidance. Now, as I break this down, I could just share the 3 behaviors like a blog post. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. That's not going to be helpful though. I want to provide context and share why this is important just as much as just laying it out like a blog post. So let's go into the why, then I'll go into the what and how you can shift this as well. So think of it like this. Men and women love differently and they receive love differently. Haven't you noticed that? Right? We do not love the same, even though we both crave and want love. We have a program called Frequency of Love, and it's a program for single women who want to get into a relationship, right? And every single week we hop on these Zoom calls. And I remember a few weeks ago, I asked all the women in the group, I said, how many of you have ever been dating a man that you felt so safe with, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you felt so safe with him, and you noticed that there was a different aspect of you, a different part of you that came out compared to a man that maybe you felt unsafe with? And every single time, all of them always raised their hand. Now, there is a reason for that. And the reason, or a reason, is because one of the highest acts of love for a woman is for a man to have her feel safe in a relationship. And most men are completely oblivious to how often women feel unsafe in their everyday lives. Now, for a man wants to feel safe for sure. However, it's not at the number 1 or it's not even in his top 3 priorities in a relationship, even though it is a priority for him, but it's not up there. One of the highest, if not the highest act of love for a man is for a woman to have the man feel respected in a relationship. Men wants to feel respected more than they want to feel safe in a relationship. Now, Matt, why are you breaking all this down? Why is this important? Well, the reason why this is important is because as I'm breaking down these 3 behaviors, you might be asking yourself, well, Matt, I want to feel this in a relationship. What if the man does that to me? And he might be doing that for you, and that's not okay. And at the same time, the reason why it doesn't have a man want to commit to a relationship is because it's touching on, it's poking at the thing that is most important to a man, which is to feel respected. So the opposite of that is to feel disrespected. And when a man feels disrespected, he's not going to commit to a relationship. There is a Bible verse that I love, Ephesians chapter 5:33. However, each one of you must also love his wife as he loves himself, speaking to the men. And for the women, and the wife must respect her husband. So I love that in the Bible, it's also touching on this. So let's go through the 3 behaviors. The first behavior that you might be doing is criticizing him. And I love the other day, Kelly was making a video and she shared, criticizing a man will not have him want to step up. It will have him want to step down or step away. I remember a time when I was in a relationship and I planned a date. And I said, I'm going to take you out to this restaurant. I'm going to plan this. I'm going to do this. And when we went to the restaurant, I remember her just like, you can't make great decisions. Like, I don't like this. And that didn't have me feel inspired to make decisions and lead the relationship, right? Because my decisiveness was met with criticism. And what we appreciate appreciates. So the lack of appreciation for making decisions is met with pain, criticism, disrespect. So it will have a man not want to step up and constantly lead, but also step down or step away. So that's a small little way that you might be criticizing. But other ways might be using sarcasm, using dismissive remarks whenever it is that he is making an effort or he has achieved something. If you're using these dismissive remarks, that is criticism. If you're constantly correcting him, whether it be the way that he's doing something or his punctuation, his grammar, whatever it might be. If you're undermining his decision, let's say that he made a decision like that. This is a great example when I made the decision to go to this restaurant and then it was met with criticism. And also I remember a time, I can tell you multiple times actually, when I've been in front of a couple, whether it be with me and Kelly or just me by myself, and just seeing how often it has been, there's a social acceptance with a woman disrespecting a man by putting him down in public. It just happens so often, right? Using sarcasm, making jokes about him, telling, just sharing with others like how incompetent he is as a man. That's not what you want to be doing. So be mindful of criticizing a man, and instead of leading with criticism, lead with appreciation. One more big thing here. A lot of people think about criticizing as something that you're doing verbally, and it is. However, there are non-verbal ways that you might be criticizing a man. Eye rolling, or when he's speaking and he's sharing a need or something along those lines, the way that your face is can be disrespectful to a man, right? So it's not just about the verbal things and what you're doing, but it's also about the non-verbal way that you might be criticizing him. All right, so that's number one. The second C is comparison. Now, I want you to think of it like this. Men want to feel like they matter in a relationship. Women tend to want to feel wanted in a relationship. Now, Matt, are you saying that women don't want to feel like they matter? No, of course you do. However, it's the same thing as I was mentioning before. Both people, men and women, want to feel like they matter, want to feel like they wanted. The priority is just completely different. Men want to feel like they matter more. Women tend to feel like women tend to want to be wanted more than they want to matter. So the reason why I'm breaking this down is because a man's way of feeling like he matters in a relationship there's more comes from what it is that he is doing and his provision and his protection, right? What he is doing, his provision and his protection. So if you're comparing his capability to another man that you've been in a relationship with, that's the equivalent of a man comparing how sexy and how attractive he is to you to an ex-partner of his, right? So hopefully that lands for you. It is the equivalent of a man comparing how much he wants you compared to an ex-partner. All right, that wouldn't feel great. It's the same thing when a man is compared in terms of his provision and capabilities to an ex-partner. It feels the exact same way. So what I mean by this is, let's say his income level, what he's able to provide in a relationship, how he's able to protect you in terms of how masculine of a man he is. Like all of that is just disrespect to a man, put simply. Number 3 is communicating poorly. So if you're using a condescending tone, also if you're neglecting appreciation, or maybe you're giving him the silent treatment. This is a big one that I hear when a woman is constantly interrupting the man. So if you're cutting him off mid-sentence, not letting him speak, cutting him off, all of that is disrespect to a man. Now, Kelly and I, we created a free training that breaks down how you can go from being single to being in a relationship that is going to help you even more with your journey. So if you want to watch that, we're going to leave that down below in the description to go ahead and check that out. And I'd love to hear, what did you get from this video? Go ahead and comment down below, and we'll see you in the next video.